It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy. Coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, go, go. Dig, dig, dig. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Claire B. Lang, XM Satellite Radio. Love the comment about you being the greatest race car driver, because you really do have to think that way. But I have two questions. The first is, Carl, were you born without the demons of insecurity, or have you chased them all away in your chase to be a champion?
Exactly. What do you mean?
Were you born this confident in yourself? And, most people have these little things in the back of their mind that hurt them at times. And
yeah, everyone does. But, I mean, deep down, you really have to believe in yourself. And, I think everyone that performs at a high level in any sport does. I mean, I was watching the Olympics last night, and it struck me, you see individuals, that achieve so well and they achieve such great things, and then there's all the other folks who don't, and just having the guts to go out there and, jump in the water and swim or go, run the 100 meters in front of the whole world and compete, you have the chance to lose, but you just have to do the very best you can. That's all you can do.
Exactly what I was asking about. Thank you. And what about the Tuesday meeting that you guys have? What do you do special on Tuesday after winning in Detroit? I would think something special, Jack. And what's the meeting like? Or do they get off of it?
We have very few words over the thing. We make the team that fared the best, and on a good week like this that won, they get their chance last. By that time we're out of time, and so we don't spend much time dwelling on things going right. But we do take things apart, and for the missed opportunities or the missteps, we agonize over it, and we commit not to have those things reoccur.
Bob tries not to doze off.
Well, and occasionally, Bob does do that, but occasionally Carl will come when he's got a beef, and other occasions he'll stay away and keep his head low. So, I hope he'll come back and celebrate with us. But it goes both ways.
Okay, we have one here and then up here in the front.
Robert Derogi with BRD Broadcasting. For both Carl and Bob, I'll be honest with you guys, after about 30 laps when he finally caught Kyle, and then you guys just blew him away. That car was just running so well. Then you had 3 cautions, and still, even on the restart, that car just came out of the hole like crazy. Boy, I'll tell you, that has been one of the first times ever in all the races I've seen here, especially that a car has come that quickly out of a hole and opened up a lead. Yeah,
it's good. Bob did a great job. The car has to be able to do it. We had at times in the race when the car wouldn't do it, and it was very frustrating, but Bob stayed on top of it. And, as a driver, you can only do as much as the car will do. And Bob just gave me a great car.
And there's a lot of credit for a track like this that needs to go to Doug Yates and the engine guys. They did a great job with the engine. In truth of fact, our engine architecture was defined in '93 when Bill France said he was going to make the engines be constant and wasn't going to have all this development work and all these handmade parts. And the other manufacturers of engines have all been revised at least once, and we're looking at our first revision of the architecture of the engine that will happen in 2009. And right now we're still running stuff that is fundamentally the same as a production car, which nobody else is. And for those guys to be able to prepare the engine and develop it and keep it competitive through all the things that have been developed by the other manufacturers is just really an incredible feat.
Spencer, Fox Sports. Jack, I guess 4 years ago you were sitting in Daytona. He had won the truck race. You said, "This is my next superstar." When you put him in the 99 car 4 years ago here, it was not a popular decision. Looking back on that and looking where you are now fighting for the championship, how rewarding is it for you?
Well, it's great. Let me say first of all that I feel a little lonely in the decisions I have to make on many subjects at many different times.
We make them feel that way.
But Carl was demonstrated to me, as David Reagan does and as Matt Kenseth did before him, and Greg Biffle did, that he's going to be as good in this business. He is. Excuse me. Let me make this clear. He's as good in this business as anybody I've ever known, and he's going to stay there for a long time. And so I was right on recognizing the potential, and of course very quickly after he won his first race at Charlotte, I told him, I says, I'll stay in this business as long as you'll drive these cars, and I hope that I've got job security for a long time now on account of that.
Joe.
Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Jack, I couldn't help noticing that you were hugging a pretty young lady there in Victory Lane. Must have been one of your grandchildren. Did that kind of epitomize your pure joy at having 4 out of 5 of your drivers finishing the top 5 here? And who was that pretty young lady anyway?
Well, that was Josie Rose McClinigan, my oldest child's, my daughter's daughter, and she's 3.5 years old, and she's been to victory. I think she's 4 for 4. I don't think she's going to a race when we haven't celebrated victory.
She busy next week, or
yeah, is she going to travel now?
She may not. She may not busy. I think next week she's going drag racing with her mother. Her mother's a drag racer, and she hasn't quite had the success that we've had with the stock cars, but she knows what the smell of victory is, and she really looks forward to coming to the races when she can.
Hey, real quick, could you also, Jack, comment on David Reagan's run today?
Well, I was anxious to see. I was hoping they'd close the gap and had actually moved into the 12th position. I understand he's tied for 13th, not far away. But the fate of David, as it relates to the chase, will be based on whether he's involved in a wreck at a bad time, or whether we break apart, which winds up being my fault, and whether the other people that are in the top 4 or the back 4 positions in the top 12 have better luck than he does in terms of the way the things develop for him on the racetrack. But David is doing everything that he can. I know yesterday he had a wreck in the nationwide race where he let it get away from him, and I said, "Okay, David, you can wreck once in a while. You've had your wreck for a while now. Let's focus on making sure that we stay on the black stuff today." But he's matured more than I could have imagined this year for his age. He's 21 or 22 years old.
It's pretty young.
Yeah, he's either 21 or 22, and it's amazing. You know, when Carl came onto the scene, I think you were already 26. Yeah.
Something like that.
And Mark Martin was 28, and Jeff Burton was 28, and Greg Biffle was 28. David Reagan is way ahead of everybody, that's currently driving with us in terms of what he's doing at his age, because the other guys weren't involved with us at that time. So we're learning from David, and when we get it figured out, we'll be able to do for him what he needs to have done, the same as we try to do for everybody else.
Before we proceed, if we don't have any more for Bob, we're